Hey y'all, good morning. It's almost 5 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't get to vlog yesterday. Yesterday was a weird day for me, so I probably should have still vlogged, because that would have been vlogging. But I don't know. It was a lot going on, and I didn't really feel like, I don't know. But anyway, so it's 5 o'clock in the morning. And I guess I had to think, I had to think a lot about, you know, how I'm being treated and the ways that I'm being treated. And it's like it's like I never, you know growing up, I didn't really I didn't think it would be like this, you know what I'm saying? But they always say you know, how they say life is hard, and but you gotta push through, you gotta keep going, things like that. But literally, if you don't have friends in this world, or if you don't have a support system or anybody to talk to or go to, yo, it's really hard. And especially if you don't trust anybody, it's really hard. And I'm not saying I don't have any of those things. I have who I choose, you know what I'm saying? Whoever I choose to go to, if it's all right, I'm gonna choose this person or whatever, you know, like to talk to vent to, or to just, you know, get on here and express myself in this kind of way, somebody's listening. So at the end of the day, I had to remember everything that I've gone through thus far. I literally have always been a good person. And I don't even have to stress this fact. I'm a good person, um, but if people had stopped talking to me, then I would stop talking to them. I'd be like, okay, I don't know what I did, but apparently they can't tell me what I did, so apparently it doesn't even matter, it doesn't matter. So anyway, I've also thought about relationships, you know what I'm saying? And I always make sure that I speak from the real, because, you know, there's just too many people faking it. There's too many people faking it. So I have to, I speak from the real naturally, because and I'm thankful of, it doesn't really, I don't get an award for speaking the truth or anything like that, but I feel good at the end of the day when I can be real with myself first, and then be okay to be real with people, whether they like me or not. So I have you know I have gone through relationships to where I treated them like husband material, not knowing why, but then I say to myself, because I grew up only knowing that kind of you know so not all of us have that luxury, but I'm not bragging about it, but I'm just saying, why am I always treating somebody, why am I always treating the one that I'm in a relationship with the utmost respect, when I'm not being respected? And I'm not saying that uh you know how I grew up, it was like that. it was never, it was it was mutual. It wasn't a how can I put this? They didn't get into many like bickering and things like that. We didn't see anything like that. So what I'm trying to say is that, like, you know, the choices that I have made when it comes to and dating and friendships, you know, you can't help who you like. Like, you like who you like. You're gonna want to see what they're about. You're gonna want to try to pursue something. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna try to want to get to know that person, regardless of where they come from or regardless of their exterior. Like, you know, if they're rough around the edges, you know, everybody's a little rough around the edges in different ways, some more so than others. So, like, you know, I just thought about, like, how all of the all of the dudes that I've dated have treated me, they never gave me the respect in return of what I've put out to them. They never returned that respect. You know, they always said, "Oh, you know, they say, like, they could never take initiative for their actions, their words, their hurtful words, their actions, you know, with the damage." And it sucks because I don't know if, like, it could have been phony in the beginning, like, you know, the laughs, the jokes, the good times, drunken fun nights, you know, joking and laughing, you know, but then it gets to a point where it spins out of control and you're just like, whoa, you know, like, is that how I make you feel? Like, is that how you feel about me? Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, every relationship I've been in, I've never been able to get the same respect that I gave to them. And it it really it's it doesn't take a toll on me anymore. Like, but what I used to not understand is how they could just not see how good of a female that I was to them. And I think that they seen it, but I don't know if they were intimidated by the the goodness of it, you know. But they just became very hateful towards me, and I used to not understand why. You know, I really used to not understand why. And not only would they become like hateful or abusive or any or those kinds, not only would it be just that, but they would show other women the kindness and the respect. And I used to just stand there like, how? Like, are you serious? Like what? Like, how you gonna treat how you gonna compliment, first of all, how are you gonna compliment a female in front of me and knowing, like, all right, we could just have an argument, and it doesn't only have to be an argument. It could be like, it could be anything. And you could be sitting there and be like, you could be sitting there and then a female walks by and they'll be like, oh, you look nice today. While I'm right there, like, you know, or we could just have an argument and they'd be bold enough to compliment a female, you know. Never mind us, we just got into an argument or whatever. And you know, it's crazy because, like, if I chose to do that, if I chose to say, oh, excuse me, you have big muscles and you probably work out at gym 5 times a week, and joke and laugh with the guy, that would be crazy. Like, they would go crazy. And I just be like, you know, like, I haven't been able to, like, really the the longest relationship that's lasted, it was for like 4.5, 5 years. But I'm gonna say 4.5 to 5 was off and on. So three years being in the dark, and then it's like yeah, like 2.5, 3 years being in the dark, and then 4.5, 5 years like on and off. And the other ones, they just either a few months to a year, and that was it. But like, you know, it's crazy because I would see something in these dudes, like, you know, like, yo, like, if they could just not be so bad, you know, just not be so bad. If they only knew, you know, like, seriously, if they only knew, like, the type of person that I could have been had either of those relationships worked out, like, it would have been really fun. Like, and I'm not like, I don't know if I'm reminiscing about it, but like, I'm just like, dang, yo, like, I'm thinking about like all of them, and I'm just like, you know, it could have been something nice. It could have been something like, you know, and I guess, you know, I was on TikTok earlier this morning, and it was brought to my attention that I have moved on from bullshit. That I have moved on from bullshit. Because I'm like, every relationship that I was in, there was always bullshit. And I was always a good female to them. Like, I was always a good female to them. You know, we would have our like differences or whatever, but when it was good, it was really good, and when it was bad, it got really bad. And I'm like to myself, like, recently, like, with these scars here, I'm like, yo, what is wrong with me? Why didn't I black out on this person. You know, like, I know how to handle my stuff. Like, I know how to defend myself. I know how to beat a motherfucker's ass if they're on my ass, or if they're, this shit is nothing new to me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I was blaming myself. I was blaming myself the whole time. Like, why didn't I do what I know how to do? And I said, I guess I'm tired. But I don't know. It was brought to my attention that I grew from the bullshit. Like, I grew from, like, being treated like that. And if I would have went in the ways that I used to, it would have brought me back to the same pattern, the same cycle. If I wouldn't have done the things that I did, it would have brought me back. I had to remember quickly. I don't know how I remembered, but it just, something in me said. And it's so tricky. It's so tricky because, like, you could be brought fruits. You could be brought fruits. You could be brought let's just say, just listen to this. You could be brought fruits, you could be brought shelter, you could be brought water. Fruits, clothes, things like that, the good stuff, fruits, food, fruits, shelter, something over your head, and water, libation, something liquid, But where you just got back from, they left you naked. And what you're being presented with is fruits, shelter, and water. Not only are you naked because you had to leave it all behind, that you're naked because you cleansed yourself from wherever you came from. So you're naked. You're looking for fruits, shelter, and water. And you're naked. So someone offers it to you. And because of their approach, may be a little bit familiar, or not even familiar, I'm not even going to say that, but their approach could be really welcoming. And you could be so blind to it until you dig deeper. Now, the fruits, the shelter, the water is being, you walked in naked. But then quickly, like, you become comfortable. Not comfortable. You become, like, so thankful. You become thankful. Thankful. After thankful, you become comfortable. And then you don't expect anything yet, but you just, you know that you, what it seems like is that you're all right. You're gonna be taken care of, that kind of thing. And then it's like it could be taken away from you with the quickness. You could, the same way you walked in is the same way they will use against you. You know? And now, walking into a situation, walking in when, someone's offering you, they could offer you fruits, shelter, and water. I don't know I don't really know, like, I'm not gonna say I don't really know. I wanna say, looking at it now, I just really, I just really think that I was being tested into, do I want the same thing again? Do I want to be treated the same way again? Of course not. You can find anybody on this planet to try and help you, and they will help you. And you could be thankful if they help you, but if they help you, they should help you without there being attachments. If you're coming into someplace naked and somebody helps you, there should not be no strings. You should not expect anything. When someone, if I'll put an example, if I welcome someone into my home or whatever, I'm not gonna, if I see someone out on the street and they're naked, and they don't have to be like naked, but like, you know what I'm saying, just naked, I'm not going to expect anything. If you could get someone back on their feet to the point where they can move on to the next destination in their life or whatever, and if they never say thank you, and if they never repay you back, or if they never whatever, what I'm going to say is that don't expect them to be that way. Don't expect them to. I know what it sounds like. I know how this sounds. If I help somebody, they better put some type of. But no. If someone goes to you for help and you expect something back, they went to you for help. What are you really expecting back from them so quickly? They went to you for help. So if you feel used, what were you really trying to do in the beginning? Why do you feel used if you wanted to do something good and help? Why do you feel used? What are you trying to really do? If I say my thank yous, and if that person says thank you, if that person, you know, lets you know in other ways, why are you expecting something? I could have stuck it out, and actually no. I stuck it out as long as I could.